Hey there, everyone. That sexy nerd is back again. And I guess he's on a Kristen Stewart kick now. Yeah. Now we got Zathura. And why hasn't he done Jumanji? Has the critic done Jumanji? How are you going to do Zathura before Jumanji? I don't know. But hey, he's got to do Jumanji first. But hey, what are you going to do? This is probably more applicable now that he's already covered Twilight, because in this movie, Kristen Stewart acts like a completely different person. She acts like, a person, not like a robot or something like that. I mean, it's like a normal teenage girl, but it's something, right? Normal bitchy teenage girl, by the way. But anyway, but I always liked this movie. I prefer Jumanji, as you can probably tell. But yeah, I've only seen this movie once, and I've seen Jumanji like a bunch of times. I think it's because of the animals, but I was always interested in space as well. Especially, like, I think it started when I was like 3 and I saw the Magic School Bus. So and Arthur just goes like,
Janet, you want proof? I'll give you proof. Here's proof of what'll happen to you if you stay here with your stuff. Arnold, no! That,
and it traumatized the hell out of me. I was like, what is going on here? Oh my God! I had an interesting childhood. There was a lot of things that traumatized me during my childhood. Holy crap. I grew up in the 90s. There was a lot of scary shit in the 90s. But anyway, I don't, to be honest, I don't remember this movie that much. I just remember that, like, Zach Braff plays someone who was lost in space, and it's like in the future, some weird shit like that. I don't know. That's why I need to watch this again. So let's not delay any further, and let's get into the episode. And remember, please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy yet nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it.
Yeah. Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. Before Iron Man, before Twilight, before Hunger Games, and before whatever the hell Tim Robbins is doing. After Jumanji, but before Jumanji, Zathura.
Okay.
Released in 2005, Zathura was a pretty big flop at the box office, but it's gaining a little bit of a following over the years.
I always liked this
called
movie.
It Jumanji in space, as it was based on the book by the same author and focused on a board game that came to life when you play it. Director Jon Favreau, though, didn't want any connection to that film, as he wasn't a particular fan of it. And I'll be honest, that's kind of what kept me away from it. Jumanji was fine, I guess, for what it was, and this didn't look bad, but it didn't look like anything that different either. Say what you will about the other Jumanji spin-off, but it was a different enough setup to introduce some fun new ideas. The one after is where they do the same shit again. It also didn't help that it was released between 2 other kids' releases, and one of them had a touch more of a following than Jumanji.
Yeah, touch.
Still, I've heard people say they look back fondly on this, and with so many interesting people and effects involved, I probably should give it a chance.
I always liked this movie.
So buckle up in your house. Yeah, way ahead of you. We're gonna see if this film deserves the lackluster box office it got.
It doesn't.
This is not Jumanji, but Jumanjish Zathura. The movie opens with honestly a pretty cool intro, with great music and energy inviting you to pull its finger to adventure.
Yeah.
Afterwards, we cut to Walter and Danny, played by Jonah Bobo and Josh Hutcherson.
You got it this time.
Jonah Bobo?
No, this would be different if we were in space. Tim Robbins plays their dad, who's obviously very laxed about profanity.
Dodgers win! You're such a dick!
Hey, I don't think you can say that on here anymore. This PG movie might be too intense for YouTube.
Oh,
you're a very special kid.
It's stupid, right?
People say when they can't think of anything.
Okay, you're a dumb kid. Feel better? Actually, the talk between these two is kind of sweet, and honestly, I buy them as a family very quickly. Robbins as the overworked divorced father, and the brothers struggling to get along without killing each other.
It's not a problem.
You break all my stuff, can't catch a ball.
That's enough.
And nobody wants you around.
That's enough.
Shut up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the work world in 2020. The father has to leave to make printouts, so he asks their sister Lisa, played by Kristen Stewart, to look after them.
Hi, Kristen
Keep
Stewart.
your eye on them, make sure they don't burn down the house, all right?
Dad, okay. 15 minutes, just close the door.
I wish I was staying with Mom in her panic room. While she
Oh my-
continues to sleep.
What? That was the girl from Panic Room? Oh my God. Again, how do you go from being such a good actress in good movies into Twilight? Ugh. There's going to be a lot of Twilight shit in this video, I can already tell.
The brothers fight between watching SpongeBob and watching SportsCenter.
Can we watch SpongeBob? No. You used to like it. Times change.
Unless you become a YouTuber. Then that won't be pathetic, it'll be pathetic with an audience. They get in a fight, and Walter uses the dumbwaiter to lower Danny into the basement. Where he
also, he's got nothing to say, because I've seen him review SpongeBob episodes as well, so...
of course, discovers the game.
Will you play with me? No. I won't cheat. Sure you will.
You know, I'll just say it, everyone's so good and believable, it's almost a bummer when you remember, oh yeah, they go into space. I think I might actually prefer them trying to survive each other than survive aliens.
I am TikTok, the Royal Army of Oz.
Oh.
The game seems pretty advanced,
wow,
but they don't yet know how advanced. As the card says, prepare for a meteor shower, and that's exactly what occurs. Huh, sounds like meteors. Whatever. 2005 band, take me away. The shower stops, and they find they're in the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism.
Space!
Okay, kid, I don't care if you're in the 4th grade or too cool for school or something. That's space!
Yeah.
How about a gasp or something? Guess we're working with that! They wake up Lisa and try to show her what's going on with the game, but accidentally put her in a cryonic freeze. And like that, Stephanie Meyer saw this moment and said, that's the amount of range I want for Bella Swan. Say the thing.
I was frozen!
The thing was said. So Walter tries to melt her out, and I love not only the method he tries to use, but the question, how does he know that method to begin with?
Gotta keep playing.
He's a he's a
The only way to set
little
things
boy.
right is to continue the game.
Your robot is defective.
I even knew that.
Oh, one of Mom's leftover vibrators is out of batteries. I have questions. You will get no answers. The robot appears to be tiny and responds to pretty funny data slang.
What does it do? Anything I want. Give me a juice box, biatch.
Want to hear what else I heard from Chappelle's show? But they grew up so fast and decide a random killing is in order.
Emergency. Alien life form must destroy.
Is it weird he sounds like a slow-down Fozzie Bear? We'll check the credits later. Just run!
Jesus, the Scream Killer is less clumsy. Danny takes his turn and they start getting sucked into a star.
Oh my good lord.
But they just get away from it. Yeah, I guess the space current lured them away. I don't know, it's the same force that randomly pulled George Clooney in Gravity. Space just eats people when it wants.
Ah, come on.
Careful, the internet needs to hate that for 5 or so years. Danny says he's afraid to keep playing, so he makes macaroni and cheese. Classic coping mechanism.
You treat me like everything's my fault.
He also wants Walter to be nicer to him if he wants him to keep playing and get home.
I want you not to be mean to me, not ignore me. I want you to treat me like your brother.
But that's a contradiction. Being a brother means doing all those things.
Yeah.
Watch. Hello? But how? Takes his turn, and the card says they'll be visited by Zargons.
I don't think it's bad.
Orgons.
Just visitors.
Yeah, it's such an inviting word. I was gonna have dinner with the Decepticons later.
Maybe they're friendly.
Why would they be?
They try hiding in the fireplace, but funny enough, it's full of fire. And Danny's turn reveals a stranded astronaut, played by Dak Shepard. Gotta admit, that entrance is pretty badass.
Like you got a pretty serious organ problem.
I thought it was Zach Braff.
We're gonna hide the house.
Or I'm not Zach Braff being carved into Zach Levi.
Right?
Now get the pilot light on the furnace.
Walter's told to turn the pilot light out, but he only turns down the heat because the robot is still down there.
That's that snap couch.
Kid, everything either has flaming asteroid or frozen Stewart on it. Preserved condition isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah, I guess not.
You wanna help me get this out of here?
That's the most uninviting invitation I've seen to anything in some time. They push the flaming couch out and the Zargons chase after the heat. The astronaut raids the fridge and says he has a good reason for being hungry.
A wormhole. About yay big. You try squeezing through there and tell me you're not hungry enough to eat a carpet shark.
Well, maybe in the porno parodies of Zathura. It's a little weird he shows he has a card from the game, yet the kids never question it like he might have played the game before. Instead, Walter tries to kick him out because he feels he's taking up resources.
You burned our couch and now he's eating all our food. You call that helping?
Dude literally saved your ass. The only resource you would have would be floating on your frozen sister if it wasn't for him.
You can stay.
They let him stay, but in a move I can't figure out is brilliant or obnoxious. The kids act 10 times more bratty when an adult's around.
Such a baby.
Hey,
Not a baby.
slow down,
Yes,
slow
you
down.
are a baby. I'm not a baby. You're a baby.
Nobody is a baby here.
You're a baby.
You know, let me do some calculations here. Yes, I hate this.
Yeah.
They eventually calm down, but the game accuses one of them of cheating and yeets him out of the movie.
Help! Wait a minute. I got an idea.
What if I just let you die? I could celebrate with a SpongeBob marathon.
You grab it and I'll pull you down.
You sure that's the kid you want to kill off movie?
That was funny.
Astronaut jetpacks his way to save him, and they try again to play. After 5 turns, though, Lisa is thawed out and turns up the heat. I guess the quiet of space is just an expression because none of them hear her crank up the stereo while she showers.
Also,
9. Good roll. 9's a great roll. I meant great.
Of course, as it looks like they're getting closer to the end, they decide to argue once more, in a way that really doesn't feel organic as it did in the beginning.
I hope you win. It's because you never win at anything, Danny. It wasn't my fault. This is all your fault. Everything's your fault. It's your fault Mom and Dad got divorced.
Where'd that come from? I'm not saying he couldn't be thinking that or anything, but it's just kind of tossed in suddenly. It'd be like if near the end of Ghostbusters they said,
See you on the other side, Ray.
I blame you that I never got married. A shooting star passes, meaning Walter gets a wish, and the astronaut thinks he wished his brother away.
Leave him alone.
He doesn't, of course, and if you're thinking, man, that would have been stupid, he instead wishes for a football. Yeah, a football. Why'd you wish for a football? You could have just wished the game over.
Why'd you wish for a football? You could have just wished the game over.
What?
I'm under a lot of pressure. He was yelling at me.
Yeah, I think I reached the point where the film got dumb. Would any kid watching this, literally any kid, think, oh yeah, pressure would have caused me to wish for a football instead of escaping intergalactic,
Good
what
Lord.
the Jesus Christ?
Okay, guys.
The astronaut reveals that he used to play the game.
No. No.
No.
And he had a brother he always argued with too, and he wished him away when it got to the shooting star.
And then I landed on the star space. I wish that my brother had never been born.
God, was I really praising this film for having believable characters earlier? I mean, yeah, it's clear what the lesson is, but it's so clear it overshadows any plausibility these dumbasses might have had. He doesn't even act like someone who lost his brother. Like, this is a dude who has to come to grips with essentially murdering his own kin, and he treats it like he misread a map.
As soon as I did it, I felt horrible. I could land on another star space and wish him back, but the game
there's
wouldn't
a
let
reason.
me.
No, I really should have turned left at the brother-killing star of death, not right.
There are some games you can't play alone.
Well, the one-hand waltz.
How do you know what that is?
Whoa. Anybody notice in the background in that shot, by the way, Jack 3 poster?
The Zargons take their living room, which had the board game in it, and
Oh,
they
well,
try
great.
starting a fire to get them back, but Lisa puts it out.
Oh,
I
what
kind of love this line is so bad, it could only be delivered in the strange way Shepard does.
Who the hell are you?
The astronaut. From the game we're in.
All that's missing is
Wow.
Kevin McAllister saying, the father.
What is that? What's going on? Where are we? Somebody please talk to me right now!
The Zargons do come back, and I will admit, it's nice seeing Stewart for once really go over the top.
This is what I
It
meant.
just looks like she's having fun screaming like Winona Ryder seeing Edward Scissorhands in her bed.
Stay with us, and everything will be okay.
I'll never leave you.
Whoa.
Yeah, post it. You knew it was coming.
Still a better
Speaking
love
of
story than
which-
Twilight.
He obviously feels very protective over me.
I feel very protective of you.
Here we go.
What can you say? She has a type.
I guess so.
The astronaut goes to get the game while the others wait in the closet, but he comes back saying he couldn't get it.
The game was right there. It was right across from the furnace. I couldn't get it. There's too many of them down there. They're all over the basement.
Wow, might have actually been cool if we followed him trying to get the game and saw all the stuff he's talking about. No joke, I just assumed like he was taken over by the lizards or he was a fake version of him or something, because why would they just not show that? They show the set later, they show the lizard creatures. Why did we spend the whole time in the closet? Oh wait, this is David Kep, classic tell, don't show.
You ready to do this?
I'm ready.
They decide to lower Danny down through the dumbwaiter, but one of the Zardons sneaks up on him. Thank God he likes to turn around mid-staircase and not inspect radio sounds he hears so they don't get caught. Oh yeah, he doesn't hear that either. They really are the cyclos of embarrassing space threats, aren't they?
They're back.
Oh wait, he's back. Guess he did suspect something, which is why he's going slower this time, giving our heroes time to run and tie off the dumbwaiter. Do you think you're doing like the raptor in the kitchen scene? Because those were wild animals. These look like henchmen from Donkey Kong Country if they fell into black licorice. Nothing about this is logical or suspenseful. Danny steps on alien splooge and discovers a bunch of goats. Whoa, wait, I was just kidding. I didn't really think that was alien splooge. What do they do on this ship? And he tries to get the game.
What do they do on that
I did give a little credit. They actually built these creatures. I think it would have been pretty easy just to CG them. I mean, with some of 2005's effects, that would have looked like, well, again, the minions from Donkey Kong Country. With that said, the CG robot is here to save the day as he's now repaired and on the good side.
Where's Lisa?
Lisa is upstairs.
Okay, it's cool you kicked ass in a scene, but I'm sorry, if your 100-pound body pushed a piano, my 190-pound body is spinning it on my finger.
Okay.
They try finishing the game, and it looks like Walter gets a second shooting star card.
Thanks for helping us out.
You know, the astronaut's idea wasn't bad. Maybe I will wish my brother away. No, it's the opposite. He wishes the astronaut got his brother back. And wouldn't you know it, it turns out the astronaut was Walter the whole time.
No shit.
Wait, what?
It's Walter, I'm your brother.
Okay, truth be told, I did suspect something like this was going on, like one of them was the brother or something, but I thought, you know, they'd give an explanation on how this happened. But no, that's literally all we get.
I'm old.
I always assumed that there was like some sort of like, you know, he had already explained it. He had said like, oh, I was playing the game and this and that and the other, and then I got sucked through a wormhole after I moved the turn to try to get my brother back. Didn't he say something like that?
But I'm him.
There's no mention of time travel or wormholes or anything like that. It's just, I'm you and I'm happy now. And
what? He said that there was a wormhole.
I passed through a time sphincter to get here. You realize how difficult that is? A wormhole. About yay big. You try squeezing through there and tell me you're not hungry enough to eat a carpet shark.
He literally disappears.
What?
You did better than I did.
Thanks.
You do know science fiction needs a little science, right?
I thought you were dead. Nope.
It does lead to this pretty funny scene, though.
It was me.
Oh my god. And I wanted to...
Is it really any worse than all the imprinting drama you went through? I'm sorry, I just watched all these movies again. I'm still getting a little bit out.
Yeah, Kristen Stewart has a weird type and is...
The Zargons come back to attack again because, you know, there's such interesting villains, we have to have more. But Danny ends up winning the game. This reveals that Zathura is in fact a black hole, and they all get sucked into
that was the cool part.
There better be a Maximilian robot standing over hell in there, or else this just isn't going to make sense.
That was why. It was really, really cool the way it ended.
Once they're sucked in, they're put back home as if nothing ever happened. As you'd imagine, the brothers get along better, they go see their off-screen mother, Maris, and the movie ends.
Yeah.
And that was Zathura. It's not bad, but
it's not good either.
Not that good either.
No.
In a sense,
that's why I never
it is what I thought it would be, a generic space adventure. What annoys me, though, is that it tricked me early on into thinking it was gonna be something more. I really like the family dynamic early on. The actors are all really good, and I want to see them interact off each other. Strangely, though, things go downhill when they enter space. That's so odd.
Space?
It looks cool and the money is clearly on screen, but everything they encounter is all stuff we've seen in other movies, including the one this is a spin-off from. There's nothing really new or that imaginative. But honestly, even that would be passable for a kid's movie if they didn't make so many weird choices with the characters and just straight up not explain them half the time. I don't care how old these kids are. They would be smarter, more observant, and ask questions, like I imagine most of the kids watching this would. But on that note, I do like these actors, and it is a neat enough idea, so I guess I'm on the fence. What are your thoughts? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you grow up with it? Did you discover it years later? Do you think it should get a following, or do you think it's not worth it? My take? I guess it's an okay way to waste an hour and a half, but if you're looking for a sci-fi adventure kids and adults will see as a classic for
more
years,
like a kid's movie.
You're wishing upon the wrong star.
Yeah.
I'm a nostalgia critic guy, remember it? So you don't have to.
My goodness, man. Like, I always remember that as like pleasant memories, but man, it's not that good, is it? I gotta watch it again myself, because he kind of puts it in perspective that I admit, like, if I end up watching the movie myself, I end up, like, finding the movie a little bit better than what he said. Who knows? But it wasn't that, to be fair, though, like he said, it did start off really well. And, again, Kristen Stewart, ironically, was doing something different because I remember I'd never known that, because I was like, I was like, I was a teenage boy when this came out, so I was like, ooh, she's kind of hot, but I had no idea. But then when she was in Twilight, I was like, oh, this girl is awful. So I didn't know, man. I didn't find out till like years after, like the second one, when I found out that she was in Zathura, and I was like, wow. But yeah, also, I really got to go over that again, because I remember him saying something about a wormhole in the movie. I think Critic is just not paying attention to some of the things he reviews, or he was just, he literally put the scene in the movie, but, in his review, so, I don't know. Not much to say, again, I would like to watch the movie. Imagine if the father was involved, by the way, too. I don't know why these movies always had to, especially Jumanji, had to like keep the parents. Actually, no. Jumanji actually brought older people in to mix in with the new people. I feel like the whole Zach. I keep saying his name is Zach Braff, but the guy who's like Zach Braff came. They came in and they were able to be like, I guess they fulfilled that requirement just to pay tribute to the original Jumanji movie. Because I bet you that whole scene where the whole time wormhole thing was not in the book, but who the hell knows? So that's all I got today. So please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And I'll see you all in the next episode.